Gregory, it's not raining. Just cloudy. A little bit of sunshine coming through there. See? A little bit of shadow. It's not the end of the world. Some people are in the park. It's quite warm. I'm smelling someone is doing barbecue. It's a nice day for a barbecue. Oh, look at that. Hot lemon, barley tea, Wanda Black coffee, morning shot. One, two, three, 4 people doing barbecuing. Ah, smells great. This place on the weekend was crazy. No, on the holiday. Like all of this was taken. There was a huge cloud of smoke rising above. No one wants to go hiking because there are reports of bears eating people. I heard there's no one in the mountains today. I think I should go hiking. I was watching Salaryman on YouTube. I wish we had pods at the train station. Is this some TV series? I haven't seen that. What do you mean, pods at the train station? Like a tiny pod where there is Wi-Fi. You can sit inside and do computer work? Or something else. I've seen these around. Wow, this toilet will be finished soon. January. A few months left. Maybe I should get into this. When I retire, maybe I will get into the barbecuing business. I go to the store, pick up some meat, having my equipment to do barbecue, go to the park and chill, and do some barbecuing and eat lunch and relax and go home and do it every day. Tiny pots for sleeping, eating, relaxing. Tiny pots for eating, sleeping. I don't know. I haven't seen those. Which station specifically? There are capsule hotels, which are really only fun for tourists. But pods? Usually station has doesn't have such places, especially public places where you can just relax for free. Tiny pods. I can tell you, I went to Yokohama and that was so crazy. I found Yokohama Yamaha building. And guess what? Yamaha has a restaurant, like a bistro inside. You can go and eat there and have coffee and just chill. While the other side of the whole floor has all the instruments that you can test out, like electronic violin, electronic clarinet, guitars. You can buy things there. And then you descend down to the first floor, because this is on the second floor where you're playing and testing and having fun on electric drums and things like that. On the first floor, they had couches in a weird, comfy shape, and these couches had violins on them or cellos, and you're supposed to lay down around and hug the cello or violin and listen to it playing. It had some kind of interface, which I don't know how they did it, but it felt like the violin is really playing for real. Like the strings were vibrating and the whole thing was real. The pots are rented by the hour. One even had a shower. I haven't seen anything like that. You gotta give me specific station. Maybe it doesn't exist. Maybe there is something like that. Maybe I didn't catch my eyes. Oh, sounds fun though. It sounds like more like an airport where I've seen showers somewhere. Anyway, that Yamaha was really cool, and downstairs they also had exhibition shop place with more pianos. I just wonder if it wasn't like the headquarters or something. And they had pianos, you know, $30,000 grand pianos, Yamaha type, you know, and they had electronic pianos, electronic grand pianos. Man, the real ones were the most expensive. And they also had the Yamaha also makes engines and stuff as well. You know, for the water, what do you call it? Water scooters, and whole bunch of lineup of whole bunch of bicycles, electric bicycles, which was really cool. How did I find that? I was just walking in that area where it used to be empty, and then I look, oh, Yamaha, what? Are people eating inside? What is that? And on the third floor, they had a whole music school. So ice cream with French fries. No, it's a potato. Yeah, it is some kind of stuff like this. And also in the Rinkai Park, behind the Intercontinental Hotel, they built a I Am Donut shop. It was hilarious, just donuts, and so popular. There was a lineup of like 100 people or more. Must be really good and popular. I think it was opened 2 months ago. There's also huge Hawaiian hotel there. That's also new. So many new buildings were built. Some arena was built in there for concerts. That place really is getting developed well. And some tower at the station, like a huge tower, right next to the station. Not sure what the quality of life is in that tower, but it must be worth millions to get some place in there. Yokohama is so much fun. You can just come by ship and have all of that under your nose. And if you are done and tired, you just go back to the cruise ship and sleep. school kids or preschool kids? Preschool name. It's also fascinating how the underground in Yokohama is. You can go from station to station. You can be outside and you can lose yourself there. But if you go underground, you completely get lost. Like, it's like, how do you navigate, man? Are you under the street? Are you inside the shopping mall? 5 floors higher, or are you at some metro station at the bottom? It's just crazy, my gosh. It's almost like walking a mountain. Exhausting, but then you can crash at the Vie de France bakery and eat some buns and cakes and shakes and soups. But I think that one was at the Yokohama Old Docks, which is right under the Landmark Tower, I believe. They have this one building next to it where you can see from the top floor all the way down to the underground where the train passes. But the train sound doesn't come all the way higher up because it's such a huge distance. And it's all indoors. And Yokohama also has so many, public hangout spaces where you can just go and hang out, like Nissan headquarters showroom. Or you just go there and go inside the car and enjoy the leather seats. No one's gonna disturb you inside. And there's a Starbucks inside it as well. It's a pretty cool place. Sometimes they bring those vintage cars there. There's always some vintage cars on the side. And of course GTR is always there in the current lineup of cars. The series is called Salaryman, Tokyo train station. I don't remember when last time I was at the Tokyo train station, but I was there before when it was closed on the outside because they were renovating it for so many years. Like 20 years ago maybe. Now it's finally, looking normal. Yeah, Tokyo train station is huge. But not the biggest. I think the ambassador who comes is picked up from the station. What is this guy doing? Circling like this? Going to land somewhere? I will check out Salaryman. Tokyo train station is close to the Imperial Palace, so there isn't much really around. But maybe there's something in the station building. Seriously illustrates how much work people do for little money and no time off. Sounds extreme. It used to be like that long time ago, but now I think it's changed. Unless there are the companies that break the labor laws. Like in the 80s or 90s, this was like that. But your salary was so huge. But after the 90s, not so much. Deflation. Deflation for 30 years. Till now. Now it's inflation a little bit. Oh, another airplane somewhere. Oh, this is a Seiko clock. Something's flying in the clouds. So what is this? A YouTube series? Not a TV series? I go to YouTube and someone has the videos there. What is this, a documentary or something with real actors and action? I wonder if who films it? They for sure need permission to film such things. Hornets. Hornets are almost dead. YouTube videos. Yeah, interesting. Or it's not like some guy who just films it without permission and gets arrested and deported. There are so many people like that. They were on purpose causing nuisance. I bet that the toilet building will be just like this. Modern concrete style. No faces are visible. Oh, I have to look at it. Maybe it's maybe it's something that's not real. I mean, maybe it's just someone filming. This part of the grass started to grow after the summer, probably. It was so hot and nothing grew, and now it's cooler and it's growing well. So there looks not so fun. Cherry trees are without leaves. Yokohama Station. Nobody's making videos about Yokohama Station. That place. I remember I used to walk there to the electronics stores more than 20 years ago. There's some canals at the back of the station and a whole bunch of department stores. I think there is a big camera. No, not big camera. Yodobashi camera maybe. And a whole bunch of hotels. That's gonna be fun to like be in a hotel at Yokohama Station. I mean, you have everything around you. All the biggest shopping malls and stores and whatever you want. And millions of cafes and restaurants, and that's gonna be something. And also beautiful parks. So there's always some balance. This park is nice too, you know. Everybody probably wants to live close to such a big park. Never leave the station. What is wrong with Yokohama Station? Nothing. It's really different from everything else, you know. The station is just, you know, imagine having a shopping mall in the US, and through middle of that shopping mall go like, you know, 12 different train lines, and people are coming and going. People live there in you know, high rises. A little bit farther, people live there in the houses. Everything around the station is commercial, lots of stores. It's like, you know, city center. So if you live there, you have everything. You have hospital there, you have clinics, doctors, you have stores. I mean, you don't need a bicycle even, just you can walk to everything in like a few minutes. Quiet, interesting way of life. But there's always a lot of people shopping. So if you want to do some grocery shopping on weekend or something, it's annoying because no, you know, people are packed in those stores. And everything is expensive, right? I mean, the land, the residences and stuff. The closer to station you are, the more expensive everything gets. What is this? Scavenger hunt from the... No, it's the Stamp Rally or something. What is this? Word Rally. This is E. I think if you collect all of these, you get some kind of prize. I think you have to report to the center office. Must cost a fortune to live. Oh yeah, that place. The high rise that I saw there, at the bottom it was a hotel up to some floor, but above it was all residential. I think those apartments are like maybe 60 meters square, way over $1 million. You probably think of like, you know, 4 million, 5 million, sometimes $8 million. But then you have everything. I don't know. I don't think I could handle living like that. Too many people, always too stressful maybe. But you know, you can go and walk to a park where it's quiet and you don't hear anything. And there's ocean too. But if you live, you know, away from the station, it's like more relaxing, less crazy stuff, less people. Or you can live, you know, outside of, on a different station, but far away, you know, from big city. It's gonna be way cheaper, but still expensive because you are close to the station. If you get away from the station, At past 20 minutes on food, then prices get cheaper, not cheap completely. And of course, out there in the countryside, no one wants to live because there's nothing. There's no hospitals, no stores, no nothing. The villages, those things. Inconvenient compared to the city where that you pay taxes and you get so many services. That's what the rich people did like 100 years ago. They already found that inside Tokyo is so congested and loud, and it's terrible to live even if you have a house. So they went outside to the next neighborhood where there is just grassland like this, farms, and they built quite big houses there. Another airplane. Where is it? Cessna party today. Besides, rich people don't really live in the big city. They have just villas outside far away. Like, it comes to the point that you cannot buy big enough land to build big enough house, so the price is capped. I mean, you cannot spend more than $4 million to build a house, and more in like a close to major station. You can go maybe 5 million, 4 million, but the land price is set, and you cannot build a $10 million house on it. There's no space. Even if you packed all the money into it, you will be struggling. So you build your castle far away outside. Mold, so gray outside. Yeah, the clouds. Sounds like fire, ambulance. Oh, there were also hornets on this tree. Brownish hornets, golden hornets, not golden, brown golden hornets. I wonder if some of them are still flying here. This tree is dying for sure. It's an oak that's dying. Yeah, no hornets to golden. That's the end of the last hornets. Do we have cherry trees here? Cherry trees. Wow. Also, Emperor recently went to one of his villas south of here, and yeah, he hasn't been there for. That's the retired emperor. He hasn't been there for 30 years. It was hilarious. He just strolling there because there's a beach access and ocean. He's just strolling there and talking to the locals and petting their dog. Weird. I've been to that place before, and yeah, it's quite relaxing there. Imagine how much money is needed to preserve such villa. Winter cherries, yeah. No one knew the emperor. Of course they knew, yeah, because this is the old guy, that just he abdicated, a few years ago. they were just talking to him. I mean, he just goes there like a normal person and says blah 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 blah, unofficially, because there are people like walking there on the beach, of course, and his villa is right on that beach too, right? His father, I think, used to enjoy that villa more because he was studying marine biology. And I think half of it with some garden is available to public. It's like a museum. And half of it is still like the Imperial Villa. No one goes there, you cannot go because it's private. To the private section. So it's always closed and there's always some police security standing at the main gates. Yeah, nice, of course. Yeah, that area over there, it's like south of Kamakura. I think Zushi is the city. I've been geocaching and walking there. It's creepy because you walk and you find these burial holes in the side of the mountain. It's like graves from 12th century. Really like scary. It's amazing, 800 years later the stuff is still there. No one touched it, and there's some statue in there inside, or quiet fun. And some of them have collapsed, some of them are taken over by the forest. Some places they restored. It's interesting, There was this place with, I think, hundreds and something, 300 graves with little pagodas. But I talked to the guy who was working there as a volunteer. He said as a kid he was just playing inside these holes. I think must have been some kind of a hard samurai cemetery from 12th century. People don't geocache in the graves. No, I mean those graves are everywhere, not just like it could be like a forest, and the stuff has been forgotten over 800 years. So yeah, there could be a geocache there, and of course there were geocaches everywhere. Imagine it's like a fortress with hills, surrounded by hills, with access to the ocean, and everything else has I think there's only 7 or 6 entrances carved through those mini mountains and hills. So you cannot get into that capital unless you go from one of the entrances. So some of these entrances have been, collapsed. Some people have houses close to them, and like modern world has taken over. And there are also these burial mounds there from before even, burial mounds from 1,600 years. Of course, there was no writing, so no one knows who's buried in there. And it's like somewhere this still forest, so you can sometimes see, there's some kind of a grave here forgotten. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You'll walk on the stones that people used to walk to that city 800 years ago, and it's those same stones, like they didn't touch anything. Yeah, of course, some of that stuff has been destroyed because they built a train line and some highways or roads. But yeah, lots of it still in the forest. Yeah, I was fascinating with these graves. Like, it's very interesting that the graves did not exist in the city. They were out there in those hills where you could not cross anywhere outside of the city. It's, I don't know, keep it clean, I guess. Sometimes had these tunnels through those hills and mountains. you come from one area and boom, you are transported to another area. It's so cool. And of course, like people's houses in there. Gee, I think lots of like writers, people who won Nobel Prize, like 1920s, they have villas in there. Now it's museums, but sometimes you can still see some rich people living there. Problem with going in there is that you can go by train quickly, but there is no highway, and the roads are always congested in the afternoon, or you need to drive. I don't think it's good at all. Superstition, no graves next to house. Yeah, I don't know. It's that kind of style, They had graves outside of the city. I think it's just like Jerusalem. All the graves were outside, never inside. I don't know. This was 800 years ago. And there's lots of, temples in that place. My goodness. The oldest temple was really like old, you could tell. 1,000 years? More, I think. Before that place became capital. But stuff is still there. I really should take the metal detector and walk these old paths. I've seen some guys on YouTube doing it, and they could find old swords or all the money and things still in there, forgotten. Sometimes there were ancient quarries with stones. They needed stone for building. And now you cannot build any house in that city at all. I mean, there's no way. Like there are still places in that city overgrown by trees and plants where there used to be, villas of the samurai from 12th century. So that they try to reconstruct that, and people have land on top of that. They need to, I guess, city needs to buy that land, and the land over there is super expensive. But itself, it's a really nice place. The city is wonderful, tiny, with lots of restaurants, lots of tourists, access to beach. Whoa, living there is just, you can go see sunset every day. I think only rich people have money to spend to buy a place in there. And maybe they don't live there at all. They come for like 1 week and they just go somewhere else. Families, of course. All these families, the Tokugawa, they are around. Tokugawa, the first shogun, he started in 1600s. They are around. They have big museum in Nagoya. I've been there once. They have graves here in Tokyo as well. All these families, they converted into like some entrepreneurs after samurais disappeared. All the like Nissan guy. Some of them, were merchants. Some of them Mitsui, I don't know. They converted into like these huge companies now. Mitsui, I think Mitsui is like they have everything. It's more like a commercial. Mitsubishi UFJ, that's banking, but that's merged from so many different things now. Yeah, Mitsubishi UFJ, that's the biggest bank in Japan. Before it was UFJ, and I think Mitsubishi was a separate thing, and I think something before that. They were all mergers of different banks, because these banks could not, they were bought out by other things. Mitsui is a huge relator. They sell houses from long time ago. They still exist today even. I think they also have banks too. Oh, low battery. Sorry. Anyway, I gotta get going. Thanks for coming. Bye for now. I hope you have a nice evening there. So, see you tomorrow.